the police authorities in Edo State have arrested some suspects in connection with the kidnap and killing of one Mr. Dennis Abuda, an indigene of Fuga in Esako Central local government area of the state, who is based in the United States of America. He visited his hometown sometime in December, but he was reportedly killed on January this year following his kidnap. The police did say that the joint efforts of the command and vigilante groups as well as hunters led to the location of the victim's corpse along the Benin-Aho-Lagos bypass following a report that was made to the command by some siblings of the late Dennis Aduba. Well, this morning, we were joined by the Commissioner of Police for Edo State, Mr. Philip Gbadu. He joins us this morning via Zoom to give us an update on what is going on. Good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us today on the program. Well, this is certainly a shocking one to the families of Mr. Abuda. What is the latest information that the police has about this?
Well, the killing of this fellow it was done by kidnappers. What actually happened was that they were traveling through the Benin-Lagos bypass, and they were accosted by kidnappers. 4 people inside the vehicle, 3 of them were kidnapped.
Okay, it looks as if we lost it, but we'll try and reestablish the connection just to get his update on what actually transpired about that and what the police is doing. Okay, we do have him back. Could you go ahead, please?
Yes, they were accosted by kidnappers and they were kidnapped and taken into the bush. The command was not even informed until a ransom was paid. 2 of them were released, and the command followed up in search of the last person. We actually went into the bush with the vigilante and with all other security agencies that could accompany us. And while we were doing the bush combing, we intercepted one of them. And one of the victims identified him as the person that collected the ransom. They now led us to the camp. While we were approaching the camp, they started firing. And it was a free-for-all fight. In the process, 4 of them were gone down. Further combing of the bush led us to the recovery of the corpse of this man that was on his way to the airport. Actually, it is very unfortunate that we have this incident. But right now, all the kidnappers along that route, we'll be able to comb them and arrest many of them. We have about 6 of them in our custody, while the actual people that kidnapped that killed this man, we met them in the camp, and it was exchange of gunfire, and so they pass on. What I want to encourage the public is that if anything happens, rather than going quietly to pay ransom, inform the police, so that even in a negotiation we can be involved and we will know how to track them and bring them to book. His kidnap appears to have some connotations of internal connection, as if they knew him before. When they took him into the bush, when we searched the body, there was quite no open injury. It appears that the fellow is hypertensive, but the hospital is here to give us a report on that. So the shock and the distress is part of the thing that make him to die easily. But whatever happened, it is the kidnappers that are responsible for the death. We have arrested them. Those who met in the bush and they fired us, there was a gunfire, and some of them are gone. That's the latest about this case.
I mean, a lot of things jump out. This is a really sad one, I must say. But, you know, there were reports that he was shot, but now you say he wasn't. So, I mean, that perhaps clears the air. And about, you know, reporting to the police after ransom was paid, you understand that sometimes these relatives are told not to inform the police. So, I mean, you might understand why some of them don't come forward until some sort of transaction has taken place. Perhaps this is something the police might want to deal with on a case-by-case basis. It might be very sensitive to speak about. But, I mean, from the accounts you have put out, it appears as though these kidnappers, their operations are quite extensive. I mean, they have a camp, they have a base, and arrests have been made in the past. In fact, along that route. But yet, we still have these kidnappers establishing bases, I mean, contacting family members, collecting ransom, and basically operating what you can call a business. So how come we still have these kidnappers flourishing, as it might seem, even though arrests have been made, but clearly these things continue?
Well, some of these people that are kidnapping are products of the escape from the prison, actually. And because some of them, although some of them are they have various ethnic background, the ones who made it, they are just young men of between the ages of 18, 20, 25, less than 30. And the fact that kidnapping flourishes is because they get money from it. It took us about an hour and a half into the bush to be able to get to their camps. These camps are not by the roadside. They'll make you to walk for a long distance. And we have to walk along the power lines that runs from that express down to us as if we are going to Auchi. So it's not that it's by the roadside. And these people, they know the bush, they navigate it easily. So if you are just on the road, you are just at the periphery. So that's why we have to go in with hunters and vigilantes who knows the terrain and who will be able to lead us properly. So they can operate from this axis and move to another axis if they don't succeed. That is why we have engaged the police in constant patrol along our highways. And if you see, or even on that Lagos Expressway, you see policemen line up between Ugbawo and Okada. You can see the number of checkpoints we have. Because to prevent them from coming from the bush to begin to pick citizens at way. And sometimes most of this inability to keep constant patrols is linked to equipment, is linked to patrol vehicles and so many other things, which the government has promised to look into it. That is the position we are now.
It is clear that, you know, you have a lot, you know, to grapple with as far as the security challenges are concerned. This kidnapping that you talked about, pervasive as it is just one. Just a few days ago, we heard this story, I'm sure you're aware of it, that some women in Edo State, you know, went on street protesting the fact that they can't go to their farms because of herders that are raping them and killing some. We also understand that there's a local government chairman somewhere, I'm not sure where exactly now in Edo State, who says that certain ethnic group must vacate their environment. And of course, they themselves, those other people, the herders, have said that they
government should prevail on the people who want them to get out of where they have lived for so long, simply because they are, law-abiding and all of that. Now, concerning these farmer-herder clashes and all of the insecurity around those things, what exactly would you say is the situation, especially concerning this particular local government? I'm sorry, I don't have the specific name now, and the women who went on that street protest in Edo State?
Well, the local government you are talking about is the community is the Ugo community in our local government. In that instance, what happened was that the farmers were in their farm. The header approached their farm, and it was a quarrel ensued between the headers and the farmer. The farmer now went back to the village and brought in the vigilante men to confront the headers. In the process, the headers shot two of the vigilante men and killed them and kidnapped one away. It was then they ran back to the police to tell a division in Ugo community what happened. We went into the bush. We couldn't get them the first day. It was when we went back on Sunday, we were able to recover the two corpses. And on Monday,
well, it looks as if it's frozen.
Yeah.
But it needs to be clarified before
Yeah.
we're sure you can hear us.
Well, as again, maybe someone just wanted to be sure that was him speaking on TV, so just call him just to confirm, because it'll be important to find out what.
Yeah, I was painting a picture.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he stopped at Monday, on Monday.
But you know, guys, don't forget that if you can get him back as well, the immigration PRO in the States as well. Those kidnapped and then released. So perhaps when it comes back is, does the police have enough information from some of those people who have been released to act and move to certain other areas so that the criminal elements among them who are giving the others a bad name are flushed out?
You know, one of the things that it would be wonderful for him to address for us is because as a result of some of these issues, they made some arrests, tried to quell some of the rising tension, and as a result of that, in appreciation, the State House of Assembly visited him, paid him a courtesy visit to, thank him and all of that. But one would want to find out, how do we ensure that this is it, that it doesn't continue?
Well, the police, they have a lot to do in all these cases, because part of the reasons why people may hit the streets or tend to take laws into their hands is if they don't feel that the law has got their back, in a manner of speaking.
Exactly.
So if they see that, look, nothing is being done. Don't forget that, yes, it's a process. If you arrest someone because, okay, it looks as if it's because if he says they made some arrests, now we're also going to find out, look, how long is it going to take before you get them to court? And then the process continues. It is a process. But it's understandable if people feel frustrated with the process, because they could feel, well, this happened, I didn't hear anything the last time.
Honestly.
So all those scenarios.
Very, very frustrating process. Very frustrating. As you said, the police has their job cut out for them, but then, hey, it's their job.
And they have to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, this mop-up of weapons, just quickly before we go on that break, he said that the herders actually shot.
Exactly.
Shot.
So it means they're armed?
Yep.
They are.
How did they get those arms? Are they legally bearing those arms? Those are the things. And then they also equally shot at the police when they were trying to get those arrests.
That's the kidnappers shot at the police.
So if you shoot at a police officer, you know what that says from the point of law. So perhaps those are the things that we'll see how they will sort out. But we hope that they do. We hope that they do all that they have to do and ensure that people see that these things are being done.